The West Virginia Mountaineers are wasting no time replacing players. If you're out, they're going to bring somebody else back in. And in this one, they got a really athletic linebacker.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby. Well, we're talking about the Mountaineers again today on the football side of things. And look, guys, West Virginia's making moves, man, whether it's a portal, whether it's through JUCO, wherever it is, just know that they're going to be out there working. Always be looking, right? That's what they're doing. So I appreciate you guys for joining in. Sorry for being a little late there. I was trying to get my camera to fix. It keeps on zooming in and out on me and out of focus. I've got the autofocus turned off now, so hopefully that helps. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. Brought to you by FanDuel, of course, guys. And look, on this one, new customers get $150 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins, but you can't win if you don't play. Make sure you head over to FanDuel.com to get started. All right, guys, so West Virginia has jumped into the JUCO ranks at a familiar place to bring somebody in, and I actually like this player a lot. I'm going to go over some tape with you guys, and we're going to look at a couple things he does really well and see what he does that fits in this Zach Alley multiple defense. Then we're going to go ahead and do the breakdown as well. We also want to talk about the Jack State guys, KK Tarnu and Xavier Bosley specifically. We're going to go over a couple different things Rich Rod said about them today. KK Tarnu did a press conference. I want to talk about some things he did today. I'm going to reflect back on some plays he made last year at West Virginia. I think KK Tarnu could really be, if not a starter, a major contributor on this year's defense for multiple reasons. He's probably one of the most maybe expensive, but experienced guys in the back end. So we'll talk about that as well. All right, guys. West Virginia has gone into the JUCO ranks at Cerritos College in California, where we got Adam Tomczyk. If you guys remember, a guy that I really like a lot and actually was just talking to earlier about a teammate of his. And I'm going to butcher his name. I should have asked him. Nuhi-Yandall. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Nuhi, if you're watching this, please correct me. I think somebody, maybe your mom added me as well. Hey, there she is. Actually, she's in the chat. Hello, Mrs. Nuhi. Please explain to me how to say this because I have no clue. I have no idea. I'm sure it's not the first time you've ever heard this. But let's get to the breakdown. And don't kill me. It's not going to, nobody's perfect, right? So, look, and he's a nice sized kid. He's, especially for what they want to do in this defense. You don't need to be 6'4" to play linebacker in this defense. Actually, they want you to be a little bit more on the athletic side, which this guy is. He's a little bit thicker than a lot of people would probably realize. He's 6 feet 240. So this is a guy that can really run for being 240 pounds. You watch his tape, you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. He comes from the JUCO ranks at Cerritos College after starting at Banning High School. And, he's one of these kids I consider overlooked for sure coming out. He's somebody that has had to, scratch, claw, fight, eat cheese sandwiches like Bob Huggins said at the JUCO ranks. That it's not like they got elite facilities or elite anything. I mean, they have great coaches in the JUCO ranks, don't get me wrong. But he hasn't taken this elite recruiting path to get where he is, but he's here. He's here, right? So that's what matters. So, because I looked everywhere. Looked at 247 Sports. I looked at Rivals. I looked on ESPN. I looked at On3. This guy doesn't have much of a recruiting profile at all. So what does that tell me? It means that he's definitely overlooked because I promise you, Zach Alley and company would not be bringing this kid in if he didn't deserve a shot, right? So if you look at the stats, let's just look there first and foremost. What does it tell you? High volume tackler, 114 tackles in high school, 82 at the JUCO ranks. Those are both very good. And he was a first-team all-conference linebacker. It's not like he's chopped liver here. Look, and if you look at his hands as well, he's definitely a good tackler, guys. Can really, really wrap up. And I'll show you on tape here in a second as well. Also, pretty good on tackles for loss. 5 tackles for loss. That means he makes quick reads on runs and makes very good football decisions. He played middle and outside linebacker at Cerritos. Also excelled at running back. He had a 320-yard game, guys. So he's got great ball skills. You know what I mean? He can do a little bit of everything. His leadership, and he was durable. He was immediately named team captain at Cerritos. That tells you a lot because that team, they've got guys at Arizona. They've got guys at West Virginia. They've got guys at other Power 4 spots, and he was the captain of all of these guys. That should tell you a lot right there. His family background is definitely a coaching background, which adds to the football IQ. Played through high snaps, guys. High snaps. He played a ton of snaps there. No noted injuries that I could find, and he's also a 3.4 GPA. Thank you. Almost 1 point higher than it needs to be for him to even transfer, which is still gripes me out. I can't stand the fact that these JUCO kids have to have a higher GPA than your standard four-year transfer, but that's a whole other argument. We'll let them argue that out in court here in a couple days when West Virginia's players go. So he is stout against the run. He also has some sacks on his record. He's got a few sacks, and he can come off the edge. He's got really good motor, especially in pursuit. I consider him to be a late bloomer. If you look at his high school stuff, probably wasn't ready for the Power 5 coming out of high school, if you're being honest. I do believe he should have went higher than JUCO. He's just overlooked. He falls in the range of players that were right around COVID era, right? Somewhere in that range from 2020 to 2022, 2023, where you're getting recruited. And unfortunately, not everybody's back in person again. Like, it's affected everybody in recruiting. And I think this is probably somebody, I don't know for sure. I haven't spoken with him about it, but a lot of times when players like this that end up going into the Power 5 ranks aren't immediately at a Division I or even FCS school, it's probably because they were overlooked. So I consider him to be a late bloomer. He's got 1 year left. He's got to make it work for him now. And West Virginia needs him. We need him. So what does that mean? Well, I think he's going to be a player that plays. I do. If you look at the tape, we'll just explain it here in the next segment. I did do a hard edge meter for the kid out of 50 points. If you don't understand what that is, a hard edge meter is based off of Rich Rodriguez's slogan for the program, Hard Edged, which is a custom scale that I personally made that basically is my own kind of scouting report for the player. It's 5 categories between 0 and 10. With decimals, I like to use decimals for some precision, right? We're going to focus this on linebacker traits, right? And I'm probably going to surprise some people with this, but that's okay. Tackling, I got him at a 9.2. If you look at him on tape, this kid wraps up, and guys do not move after he wraps up. That 240-pound frame is going to serve him very well at this level, and he's had elite production as a linebacker, almost 200 tackles career, a high-volume kid, right? He's got tackles for loss. He's in backfields, and that's why I've got run defense at 8.7. He's a stout player, guys, especially in build. His instincts definitely shine in run stopping. And if you look at his high school rushing experience, that's only going to aid to this in reading blocks, right? It's probably one of the reasons he's good at linebacker. Pass coverage, if you look at his ball skills, he's got 7 total interceptions and PBUs. That's pretty good, right? Functional and zone, probably not a shutdown corner or anything, but I think he's definitely capable of playing in pass coverage. Pass rush, he's got 2 sacks and 4.5 tackles for loss. He shows burst off the edge if you watch it on tape. I think he's a versatile outside linebacker, and he's definitely got some potential there, although I would say his pass rushing is not his specialty either. He can do it. Athleticism / speed, I gave him a 7.0. I think he was a versatile, if you look, he was a versatile 2-way high school linebacker / running back, which implies he's got pretty good functional speed. And there are no metrics out there to judge him by. So I'm going to assume he's at least average or better for the Power 4 level based on game tape and things that I've watched. So a total composite score of 40.3 out of 50. So we've got him in. He's going to hopefully work his way into the hard edge, which is anything over 44, which I reserve for starters. We'll want to see if he ends up being a starter at this level. I certainly think he's capable of playing a bunch of snaps for his guys. I'm not just sprinkling sugar on it. I asked him why. I said, "Hey, man, why are you coming in so late? Because there has to be a reason, right?" And he said he was just being patient. He said his recruiting wasn't moving as fast as he wanted it to move. In other words, he was being overlooked again. And so, how can you pass this opportunity up? How could you ever pass this opportunity up? So here he is, right? I say we judge him based off the tape, not based off what everybody else has said. Because if you let everybody else tell you who you are and what you are, you might not ever be nothing. If everybody told me who I am and what I am, I would be nothing, right? All I am to a lot of people is a felon. All I am to a lot of people is an addict, right? So you guys know here on the show, I'm very open and honest about that. If I wasn't ever supposed to be anything, then I probably wouldn't be anything. That's why I don't let other people tell me what I am, or I'm not going to let people tell this kid what he is. So we'll look at the tape. We'll make our own decision then, right? All right, let's go to a break. We'll come right back and watch the tape, man. Then we'll talk about a couple guys from Jackson State that I love. We'll be right back. This is Locked On West Virginia, talking about we'll figure out his name hopefully here in a minute. We'll be right back. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by FanDuel. And when you talk about FanDuel, guys, we know the summer sports are going to be in full swing right now. And whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game more exciting. And if you're following along with the action, why not make it a little more thrilling? FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. Duh. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups. Keeps the app fresh after all with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet for sure. If you're new to FanDuel and you want to be a new customer, just bet $5 and you can get $150 in bonus bets. But that's only if you win that first $5 bet. Open your FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. Not today. Do it yesterday, baby. It's segment 2, and of course, we're going to crack a do. And look, if this kid turns out to be as good as his tape is, you might as well just Baja blast my ass up into the sun, because I think this kid's got a chance to be kind of good. What do I mean by good? I think he can be in the rotation of linebackers that we have. That's what I think. I think they brought him in for that reason. So let's look at the tape here. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. I wish somebody would correct me, and maybe she did. Maybe let me go back and look. Let me see. Did she do it? Somebody let me know how to pronounce that name if you ever get a chance. I hate that I'm saying it right. All right, so let's go to the share screen model here. We'll pull up Nuhi-Yandall. I know it's got to be Yandall. I'm assuming Nuhi, right? This is all it could be. Here's the tape, man. Unanimous first team all conference linebacker. Let's roll. This is at Cerritos College, by the way. As you can see, great instincts in towards the run, bending in and getting a linebacker or getting a running back. I like this play a lot. He basically pushes 13, and I think it's 13. He pushes somebody into the ball carrier here. I've never seen that before. Guys, I haven't seen that one before, honestly. He literally assisted on the tackle by pushing somebody into the ball carrier himself. And you see, he's got some speed to his game. That's what I was telling you guys. And I just want to say, by the way, you guys see all the coverage Sincere Bowers is getting? Just remember who was the first person to give him any praise when nobody was doing it. I'm not saying that it's not hard to look at Sincere Bowers' tape and see that he's a good player, right? Obviously, he is. I'm just saying I was the first person to do it publicly. Now everybody is, right? He's getting updates left and right. You got people on all the sites talking about him. I guess Napoleon made it more valid than I did, and that makes sense because he played running back. But I'm just saying, I look at the tape here and see a player that can play. If you look at this play alone, look at the speed this kid's got. He can move, and he pushes 13 into the back, and makes the tackle himself. That one was shocking for me. Here he is in the middle. He plays outside backer. He plays in the middle. As you can see here, he engages with an offensive lineman. I went and looked it up, by the way, just because I was curious. The kid that he engaged with now plays at Nevada. So he's playing at a group of 5 school, which is pretty good, right? Watch him engage with a kid that's playing at a group of 5 school, shed the block and make a tackle. That's pretty good, right? That 240-pound frame coming in handy right there. Playing outside backer here. Watch him outrun the pursuit, or not the pursuit, but the blocker, and make a tackle. 52 was mad. Did you see how mad he was? Watch 5-2. He's pissed. It's somebody else's fault, 5-2, isn't it? That's what he's acting like. What's this mean? Here he's playing back into coverage. As you can see, it looks like a nickel, and just a great tackle over the middle. I mean, you know what this looks like to me, by the way, for a lot of you guys? You know how Ric Flair, whenever he gets hit with a sweet chin and music from Shawn Michaels, or whenever Stone Cold stunnered him, he would do that backflip up off the mat. Like he would hit on his back and then he would like push himself up and do a flip back over, like just all dramatic. That's what this looks like here. That's what Ric Flair would do when he got stunnered. Okay, this is a cool angle. You can see his eyes, right? Look at his eyes. You see him scanning the field. And just look and fill that gap and absolutely murder this kid. Number 2-4 just got abused. 2-4 just got abused in the middle of the lane here, guys. I love how he fills the gap, too. Watch how he fills it from inside out. Inside out, boom. Nice play. And by the way, did you see number 9-7 there? There's Adam Tomczyk. So, and they got another player on that defense that plays for Arizona. They had an elite defense. Here you can see he retreated early, didn't he? And look at that pick. Beautifully done. You see him retreat early? And this is this is a heady play. This is all brains. This isn't athletic. I mean, it's some athletic ability, but he read this before the ball was snapped. You can just tell. Watch him right here at the count of the snap. He's gone back to a spot where he knows he needs to be, and the quarterback literally just throws it to him. It's a great play. That lets me know he can cover a little bit. Now I want to match him up with an elite tight end. I'm not saying that either, but I'm just saying he can do his job. He's got experience doing it, because a lot of guys in JUCO specifically can be specialists, right? You got a guy that's a run guy. You got a guy that maybe covers the pass better, and they get subbed in and out for one another. Well, in this defense, you got to be able to do it all. So this will be a dude that can do it all. Once again, you see him out in coverage and a nice tackle in the open field. Here he's playing outside backer again. You can see he's got the speed just enough to get downfield. And on a play like this is similar to what we run at West Virginia, right? You're going to see a kind of a zone read concept right here, right? This obviously this backer is coming, so he's going to hand it off. And he just shoots down through, and this is a big gain if he doesn't make this tackle. We'll watch a couple more. I like these angles here where you can actually watch him shoot right through the A gap and get a nice tackle here. Nicely done. And I like the little fist pump there at the end. You see him read this, guys? This is a screen pass, but you don't know that from the get, do you? Just watch him read the linebacker base or the running back, quarterback. But I mean, watch him here. He doesn't just shoot down through like a lot of the guys do. Right? This guy, if it was up to him, no offense, but if it's up to this guy, they get buried for 30 yards. If it's not for him and him's patience, this running back sneaks out the back and it's gone, right? I mean, if it's not for him, that play goes for a lot of yards. It's just the truth. A lot of the plays you see this kid make are, heady plays, just like this one here. He's not pressing it, right? You see a lot of guys that play with their hair on fire, and that's great. You want to see that. You want to see that. But like this play here, watch him just take his time. He's patient. He's not rushing. He's not just trying to get to a spot. He's not just going where he's coached to go all the time. Sometimes you got to be able to be nuanced within a play. Plays don't go exactly to script all the time, right? You just don't take 3 steps and launch it, or you don't just throw the hitch. Sometimes the hitch turns into a double move, even though that's not in the offense, right? Similarly here, this guy's playing right in the middle. They're kind of in it looks like they're in they're in a passing defense. So you see right here, they're already, I look at football sometimes like, how in baseball, how they'll put the shift on a guy. You'll see they'll have everybody over to the one side or the other. Football can be that way too, right? With alignment. And with that's kind of what they've done here. Based on this formation, it looks like they're in an alignment that would kind of set them up for a good spot if they want to go over this way. And he just kind of reads it. And as you can see, he's got some wheels. He can run a little bit. So I would say if I had to guess reasons why this kid is been overlooked, definitely size, probably be the biggest thing. He's listed at 6 foot. He may be 5'11". I don't know. I'm not here to tell you which one he is. But at West Virginia, we don't care, do we? We've had plenty of guys 5'11" that have been really good. So I don't think it's something that we really care about. Can you play football? Are you hard edged? Do you mind to go hard every single play? And this kid here, I think one of the things I like about his game is he doesn't get sped up too much. He plays with his head a lot. As you can see here, he just reads and reacts. You can tell he's played quite a bit of linebacker, and I think he's somebody that can definitely benefit us. Probably, he's coming in late, right? So we have to be honest there. We have to be honest about that, right? He's coming in late. But I'll say, he's a smart kid. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick this thing up in in a month or so. And be by Pitt week 3, he'll probably be ready to be in the rotation pretty regularly. What do I mean by the rotation? I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 15 snaps a game, probably starting out, and he can earn his way up from there. I wouldn't expect him to get a lot more than that right away. There's a lot of guys that are, I don't know where he factors in if you get down to like Ashton Woods and guys like that, because Ashton Woods has obviously got a way higher pedigree as far as the way he got here. But if he's playing better than Ashton Woods, he'll be the guy that plays. So I think this is a guy that can absolutely. Hey, Fester, haven't seen you in a while, man. This is a kid that I think is definitely going to impact the team. I think he's got a chance to play. Not projecting him to start or anything like that, or yet. I'm just saying I think it's a good addition. I think he's been overlooked. I think that he's got a chance to be pretty good. And outside of that, we just have to wait and see how he adjusts, because anything outside of that would be, in my opinion, sprinkling too much sugar on it, like being too much of a homer. And I'm not trying to do that either. Try to be as honest as possible with also being realistic. And I don't think he would pretend like maybe he thinks he's going to come in and earn a starting job, but I don't think he thinks he's the starter right away. Right. So that's the breakdown. Hope you enjoyed that. Certainly think this is a kid that can help the team, and we'll definitely keep an eye on him. Congratulations to the family that was in here. I know you guys are excited. This is his last year in college. This is what college football is all about. Like, it even makes me it makes me really happy. It really does to see a kid who has, gone this route through junior college and everything. He doesn't have a lot of time left unless they give kids their junior college years back, which is possible. And he's only got a little bit limited time to make this thing happen, and he gets a Power 5. It's almost like getting called up to the big leagues for a guy like this. So we definitely hope he's doing well and does well. All right, let's move on to a break. What we'll talk about next is a couple guys we need to keep our eyes on. KK Tarnu and Xavier Bosley for different reasons. Xavier Bosley, man, I can't believe he burned all his Rich Rod stuff. And we're back here, Locked On West Virginia, segment 3. Absolutely, man. I'm glad. Thank you for joining the show. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here, guys. You guys are always welcome here. I'll definitely always be fair to your son, like with a lot of the guys, if they need a kick in the pants, a lot of times they'll get it from me on here on the show. There's a fly on my hat. But otherwise at the end of the day, sometimes that happens, but also I like to praise them when they deserve it. And I think that's the best way to be. So let's get to the tape on KK Tarnu now. Something I'm excited about is I found some tape on Tarnu that is from West Virginia, and it's recent, like obviously he's got his Jack State stuff, and that's fine. But I mean, there's let me see if I can find it. I thought I had it already ready to go here, but maybe I didn't. Maybe it's another page and I'm just not recognizing it. Yeah, it is. Okay. So that's what we'll do. Let's get off this one. Go to the other one. I have 2 pages pulled up for Tarnu. I didn't realize it. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So this is something Gold Blue Nation did. This is last year. See what coach was saying about him and things, but I'll probably fast forward through that, to be honest. These aren't our coaches anymore. But I do want to watch a couple of the plays.
He's got a skill set. The skill set is his biggest amount of playing time, largest amount of playing.
This is against Cincinnati right here. Here's Tarnu.
Time. I thought he played well,
Boom.
Played within himself. Didn't need anything superhuman. Just did his job. And
transfer senior safety KK Tarnu.
Here's the play made against Cincinnati where he forced the quarterback to throw it, and they got an interception as a result.
He got pressure on the quarterback and was able to, make that QB make a bad decision. So, he's doing a great job.
In wins over Arizona and
here, I'll let you hear this part. And look at how he was playing at the end of last year.
Cincinnati, Tarnu combined for 11 total tackles, a forced fumble versus Arizona, a fumble recovery versus the Bearcats, and applied the quarterback hurry in the second quarter that Wilson spoke about, which led to his 79-yard pick six. Tarnu has transitioned to playing more spear in recent weeks. Just a few years ago, he was playing for Rochester Community and Technical College. He then spent a year under Rich Rodriguez at Jacksonville State. Now, he's a key member of the secondary and the 9th leading tackler on a WVU team that is just 1 win shy of bowl.
So, I think this would have been a great picture for his thumbnail if I'd have done one on him, huh? This right here. That'd have been a good picture of Tarnu. But yeah, so this is a kid that I think, he did an interview today. And I've watched a lot of interviews on these kids lately. I think Tarnu's a guy based especially on what he did at Jack State, and we're going to look at some of that. What he did at Jack State was super impressive. He was really good there. Let me see. Let me make sure. All right. All right. We'll make sure we get that pulled up really quick, and then I know there's a tape. Yeah, here's a highlight tape.
Tarnu, one of them, a junior college transfer. Tarnu, with that huge third quarter interception last week at Middle Tennessee, really changed the momentum in that game.
All right, so a couple of things on Tarnu. We'll watch some of the tape. I don't know how much of it shows. I just checked to see what was all about. I know it takes it a second to get in there for whatever reason, but I mean, I love a couple of the plays he makes, man, on this tape here. I mean, look at the tracking. I mean, there's no way he's supposed to be in this play. This is him coming way out of where he's supposed to be to make this play. And watch how damn good of a play he makes here. I mean, he chews up a lot of ground to get over here. That's a beautiful play by him. I mean, he was all over the field for Jack State, guys. And this is the same exact defense, everything you can think of, right? And you look at what he did at Jack State, by the way, 47 tackles solo, 53 total, 2 tackles for loss, the sack, and 3 interceptions. We'll take that this year. You're talking about honorable mention all Big 12 if you do something like that, and if not even possibly all Big 12. Like, he's got the potential. And think about that. This was 1 year out of JUCO. Now he's played a level of power 4 ball, and he was turning it on last year for us. Right? He was coming on strong. Now he goes back to a defense he already knows, no learning curve. This is somebody that I think that myself included haven't talked about as much as we should. Here he's against Spencer Rattler, and I mean, he just threw that right to him, to be honest. But I mean, you look at the coverage skills. It's against South Carolina. They've got elite wide receivers every year. And look at the coverage. I mean, he's all over this dude. It's not even a question. Yeah. So KK Tarnu's a kid to keep your eyes on. Keep him peeled, man. And here he is. Watch him here. Boom. Love that. Oh, he was on the coverage. My fault. That was my bad. I thought that was him blitzing for a second. But he's on the back end. This is him right here. So, and nice. And here's another thing. These Jack State guys, man, we watched Fred Perry, I think it was, or maybe might have been Carter, but either one, I can't remember which one. But you see how low they get on some of these tackles? Here he is again. This is the same exact technique we've seen, and it's not this is the only place that teaches this. But, I mean, this is the way to do it. You see what you hit. Eyes are up. Helmet's up, right? I mean, you can't get any lower. This is the position to be in to tackle somebody. You'll tackle somebody 9 times out of 10 in this position right here. And you look. And a lot of times you'll put a helmet or a shoulder on the ball. That's an elite interception. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's got to be Sports Center top 10 stuff right here. Holy crap. I have not seen this play. Are you kidding me? Well, look at this interception. What? Oh, my God. Over top, and is that him and Fred Perry fighting for the ball? I mean, Fred Perry did everything he could to mess it up, didn't he? Oh, God. That's crazy, man. You want to see something, by the way? Look at Fred Perry coming off the edge. I think that might be him. I can't tell, actually. No, it's not. Okay. It's not Perry. Maybe that's up top, though. I can't tell, but I love this defense, man. Look at this defense. Look at this Zach Alley defense, man. Two guys stacked on top of each other. You got 3 guys here. You got an outside backer shooting down. You got two safeties up here. You got a guy sprinting over here. Like, it's just chaos everywhere you go. No chance. If you're going to make a play against this defense, you're going to get hit straight in the damn mouth. Boom. Craziness. Yeah. KK, baby. Be on the lookout for KK. For sure, man. This is somebody that can absolutely do it and do it right. I can't play that one. But we're looking forward to seeing him play this year. I think he's such a, him getting that extra year probably hadn't talked about enough, to be honest. Now that you think about it, after his press conference today and stuff, I thought, you know what? I didn't even realize all that. I didn't realize that I forgot he was a senior. You get what I mean? So there's definitely a lot to like there. I think, there's some things that I have questions about. Like, the thing is we brought in such good players. I don't know if he's going to start or not. I guess we'll have to wait and see. His experience might give him an upper hand. And the fact that he came out in a press conference today first, those are little tells, right? I don't think they're playing games. They might be. Maybe they are throwing a bunch of dudes out to the press conference so that people will think they have the upper hand. But overall, man, I think that KK is obviously a big leader for this defense, somebody that knows it inside and out. And he and Fred Perry, I mean, come on. And Carter, those three guys on the back end, that's really exciting. They all know this defense. I think our back end is for sure going to be way better than people realize. So let's just say that. We'll get over to Xavier B really quick. We can't overlook my guy, can we? So let's get on Xavier Bosley really quick. Obviously, we love Xavier, and he's another one, man. I think you look at him and you just wonder, how good is he going to be? Because he was on an offense, Jack State, that was a top 5 rushing offense when he was there as a redshirt freshman, and was a freshman All-American. So I totally was expecting him to start this year. And then you look, and now I don't know. I don't know if he's going to start. We're still waiting to see. But I thought he was going to be the guy, coming back this year. I thought he was going to be one of the guys. But maybe we brought in good players. I told you guys, I gave you the report yesterday. Our offensive line, it's not just good. It's going to be good. Like, it's going to be really good. I really believe that. I'm not just saying it. Like, I've been told, like, they have to gel. That's number one. They have to gel. Oh yeah. This is going back in the archives for me, man. So this is pretty cool. This is this is the first scoop I ever had. Xavier Bosley gave it to me. He actually personally told me, like, hey, you can put this out. So this was definitely one of my proudest moments, it was like, because I didn't consider myself, I still consider myself a fan, even though I do have some media stuff that I do now. But, at the time I wasn't working for Locked On or anything, I was on my own, doing my own thing. And for him to give me that little scoop it meant a lot to me. So I'm not saying other people didn't know about it. I'm not saying that, there weren't people that predicted it or anything like that. I'm just saying he told me, hey, you can put it out there. You can say that it's happening, right? So that meant a lot to me for a guy that didn't have a lot of confidence either at the time. But, yeah, so this is something I definitely consider watch-worthy with Xavier Bosley. I don't know he's like one of the biggest wild cards on the team, because this freshman All-American, you thought he was going to come in and beat Nick Malone last year. I did. Nick Malone turned out to be an all-conference player, though. Like, it's not even like Nick Malone. If he was back this year, I would be so excited, but like, he's not. And we've got Xavier, and I expect the same from him, but they've got all these guys they brought in. And I just don't know, like, when it comes down to it, are you able to, probably not. I don't think anybody's beating Tykees Crawford out. It's an offense that Crawford can run, right? Very well. It's meant for him as this big stud offensive lineman that he is. Tykees Crawford is meant for this offensive line and this way this offense runs. And then you look at like Ogbo from Texas on the other side is a guy that you look at and wonder about. Like, there's a bunch of talent on this offensive line. There is. But, we'll just have to see. They're going to play 8. That's right. I think he's going to be one of the 8. I'll be shocked if he's not one of the 8. So, all right, guys, let's jump off of here. I'm well over time again, so might as well go ahead and hurry and get off of here before I get in trouble. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We talk about your team every single day. We'll talk to you on the next one, guys. Make sure you check out the Locked On portal as well, but he does a great job over there with Brian Smith, and I'll see you guys later. We'll definitely do something. Allie was at Jack State. What are you talking about, Sean? Might want to look that up again, brother. All right, y'all. I'll probably do another show tonight. I at least want to get into today. So I just got to figure out what I'm going to talk about. If you got any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Hit that like, subscribe, the whole thing, and we'll talk later. Good night.